So in this video session, we are going to learn about chemical properties of phenols. So here if you consider phenols, so there will be attachment of OH group directly to the aromatic ring. So because of this aromatic ring, even there is possibility for undergoing electrophilic substitution reaction. So this reaction is also considered as aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. So what is the part of OH group with respect to electrophilic substitution reaction in case of phenols? So as you know, benzene can undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. So but if you come for this phenol particularly, so it can easily undergo electrophilic substitution reactions, and it is also considered as ring activating group, that is OH group. Whenever it is attached to the benzene ring, it will be considered as ring activating group. So because here due to that resonance effect, electron will be released towards the benzene ring from the oxygen atom, so that there will be increase in the negative charge at ortho positions as well as at para positions. So that will be clearly understood with respect to the resonance structures of phenols. So as you consider, these negative strength or negative charge will be more rich at case of, that is at position of ortho and para. Hence it will be helping for electrophile to get attack on this aromatic ring and results in the products which are electrophilic substitution products. So here we are going to learn about different types of electrophilic substitution reactions of phenol one by one. So which is that first electrophilic substitution reaction for phenol? So that is, we can start with nitration of phenol. So here as you consider that nitration, so nitration can be done with respect to different conditions. So very first, if you start with, that is nitration of phenol, which is done with the help of dilute HNO3, nitric acid, dilute nitric acid at what temperature? That is at 298 Kelvin. So in case if you are subjecting that phenol, when phenol is treated with dilute nitric acid or heated with dilute nitric acid at temperature of 298 Kelvin, then you are going to get two types of products. One is ortho substituted product, other one is para substituted product. Since that OH group will increase that negative charge both at ortho position as well as at para positions, there is a possibility to get two types of products. In case if the hydrogen atom present at ortho position, when it is interacting with this OH group of HNO3, so in spite of writing HNO3, so I have written this as OH and NO2. So this OH part will, or OH group will react with hydrogen at the ortho position. So it is helping for the removal of water molecule. So that hydrogen will be replaced by nitro group. Hence it results in the formation of ortho-nitrophenol. So nitro group is get substituted at exactly at ortho position. And even one more possibility, since negative charge is rich even at para position, even there will be attack of this nitric group at para position. Hence electrophile, that is NO2 plus, will attack on this para position with the removal of hydrogen in the form of water. So we are going to get another product, that is para-nitrophenol. So therefore you are going to get removal of two water molecules, 2 moles of water, and there will be formation of two types of products, ortho-nitrophenol, other one is para-nitrophenol. So among these ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol, which is having lower boiling point and which is having higher boiling point, you can guess based on the interaction with respect to hydrogen bonding. So here there is possibility of hydrogen bonding, that is hydrogen of OH group can make hydrogen bonding with oxygen of nitro group. That results in intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Whenever molecule is existing with intramolecular hydrogen bonding, there is no possibility to extend that molecular association. Therefore, it results in a reduction in that boiling point. So, ortho-nitrophenol is having to 14 degrees Celsius as boiling point, which will be lesser than that of para-nitrophenol. Now we can go for second type of electrophilic substitution reaction, phenol. So that is bromination. So here, as the name itself indicates, bromination. So we are going to substitute bromine for phenolic group. So now once you go for this bromination, so we can conduct this bromination of phenol by two methods. So in the very first method, the bromination of phenol can be done in medium such as CHCl3 chloroform or carbon disulfide CS2 medium. So that is bromination if it is done in the presence of or done in medium either chloroform or carbon disulfide, then you are going to get substituted product at ortho as well as at para positions. So when phenol is subjected for bromination in carbon disulfide medium, so you will get two products such as orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. So as you can see here, so bromine molecule Br is linked to another Br. So in case if there is presence of hydrogen at ortho position, so hydrogen can interact with one Br to give hydrogen bromide. So HBr will be removed off. So that hydrogen atom of this aromatic ring is replaced by another Br, so that you are going to get orthobromophenol. Similarly, the hydrogen atom at para position is interacting with another bromine molecule and results in the formation of hydrogen bromide as well as the main product para-bromophenol. That is why you are going to get two types of main products, orthobromophenol and another one is para-bromophenol. So these are the two products which are obtained by which medium? By using chloroform or carbon disulfide during bromination. And similarly, if you go for second method of bromination, when phenol is subjected for bromination with bromine water. So when phenol is treated with bromine water, you are going to get tri-substituted product. So there the density of this Br will be very much higher, so that there will be easy substitution of this Br at both at ortho positions as well as at para positions. Hence you are going to end up with the formation of the product, which is that main product 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2,4,6 tribromophenol. That is how you should be careful enough regarding the conditions. Whatever the conditions they have given on reagent side and the medium, you have to predict the correct product. In case in examination they have given up to here. So they have given the phenol and even they have given that bromine and even they have mentioned that medium. Then they are expecting you to write the product, fill up the blank. Then you are supposed to write it is two types of main products, orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. In case if they ask for identify the product in the given following reaction. So if they are given a condition like this. So here it is phenol and bromine. And what medium it is? Water. So in this aqueous medium, you are going to get different type of product. Which is that product expected? 2,4,6 tribromophenol. So that is regarding bromination of phenol. Now we can go for second type of electrophilic substitution reaction, phenol. So that is bromination. So here as the name itself indicates, bromination. So we are going to substitute bromine for phenolic group. So now once you go for this bromination, so we can conduct this bromination of phenol by two methods. So in the very first method, the bromination of phenol can be done in medium such as CHCl3 chloroform or carbon disulfide CS2 medium. So that is bromination if it is done in the presence of or done in medium either chloroform or carbon disulfide, then you are going to get substituted product at ortho as well as at para positions. So when phenol is subjected for bromination in carbon disulfide medium, so you will get two products such as orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. So as you can see here, so bromine molecule Br is linked to another Br. So in case if there is presence of hydrogen at ortho position, so hydrogen can interact with one Br to give hydrogen bromide. So HBr will be removed off. So that hydrogen atom of this aromatic ring is replaced by another Br, so that you are going to get orthobromophenol. Similarly, the hydrogen atom at para position is interacting with another bromine molecule and results in the formation of hydrogen bromide as well as the main product para-bromophenol. That is why you are going to get two types of main products, orthobromophenol and another one is para-bromophenol. So these are the two products which are obtained by which medium? By using chloroform or carbon disulfide during bromination. And similarly, if you go for second method of bromination, when phenol is subjected for bromination with bromine water. So when phenol is treated with bromine water, you are going to get tri-substituted product. So there the density of this Br will be very much higher, so that there will be easy substitution of this Br at both at ortho positions as well as at para positions. Hence, you are going to end up with the formation of the product, which is that main product 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2,4,6 tribromophenol. That is how you should be careful enough regarding the conditions. Whatever the conditions they have given on reagent side and the medium, you have to predict the correct product. In case in examination they have given up to here. So they have given the phenol and even they have given that bromine and even they have mentioned that medium. Then they are expecting you to write the product, fill up the blank. Then you are supposed to write it is two types of main products, orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. In case if they ask for identify the product in the given following reaction. So if they are given a condition like this. So here it is phenol and bromine. And what medium it is? Water. So in this aqueous medium, you are going to get different type of product. Which is that product expected? 2,4,6 tribromophenol. So that is regarding bromination of phenol. Now we can go for next chemical reaction of phenols. That is Cole-Base reaction. So Cole-Base reaction is very important from examination point of view. You should learn without fail. So you should remember what are the conditions required for this Cole-Base reaction, what are the reagents required. So once you remember this Cole-Base reaction means you should recall that it is meant with the conversion of sodium phenate into salicylic acid. So very first, if you start with that reagent, which is that reagent you should remember? Sodium phenate. To the benzene ring there is attachment of ONA. So it is also called as sodium phenoxide. Now, once this sodium phenate is heated with carbon dioxide at temperature of 140 degrees Celsius and we should maintain the pressure 6 to 8 atmospheric pressure. So at these conditions, you are going to get that conversion into product, which is that product sodium salicylate. So this is called as sodium salicylate. Now, once you consider, you are going to get the sodium salicylate, which on further acidification, you are going to get that conversion into salicylic acid. In the very first step, you can find here. So, when this ONA group is interacting with carbon dioxide, there is attachment of the COO group in between oxygen and sodium, you can find here. But it is said to be unstable. It is intermediate compound. So it will undergo rearrangement. During this rearrangement, what happens? During this rearrangement, so this COONA group will be just taking the place of hydrogen. So this hydrogen will become stabilized along with oxygen in the form of OH group. So now once it gains stability, so it is converting into sodium salicylate. This on further acidification with the help of hydrochloric acid, you are going to get the formation of salicylic acid. So here you can find OH will be as it is and COONA is interacting with HCl. So here you can find sodium can easily combine with Cl. So it is removed off in the form of NaCl. Now whatever is left over here, COO, it will be get attached with hydrogen. Hence COONA group will be converting into COOH. To the benzene ring, if there is attachment of both OH group as well as carboxyl group, it is called as salicylic acid. That is how in the Kolbe's reaction, you are going to get that conversion of sodium phenate into salicylic acid. So explain Kolbe's reaction. So what you will explain regarding Kolbe's reaction? When sodium phenate is heated with carbon dioxide at 140 degrees Celsius, around 6 to 8 atmospheric pressure, it is getting converting into sodium salicylate, which on acidification gives salicylic acid. So you are supposed to write these two steps which are involved in this reaction. Now we are going to learn about one of the most important named reaction in this chapter, that is Reamer-Tiemann's reaction. So once you remember Reamer-Tiemann's reaction, you should remember what is that conversion regarding. So in this Reamer-Tiemann's reaction, we are going to convert, that is phenol into salicylaldehyde. Phenol into salicylaldehyde. So it is one of the most important question from examination point of view. They can directly raise the question like this: explain Reamer-Tiemann's reaction for the conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde. So now, once you remember this Reamer-Tiemann's reaction, then you should remember the reagents. So which are those reagents required for this? Very first we are going to start with phenol. So now this phenol is heated with chloroform. What is this chloroform? That is CHCl3. CHCl3. When phenol is heated with chloroform in the presence of aqueous sodium hydroxide, that is strong alkali NaOH, when phenol is heated with chloroform in the presence of aqueous sodium hydroxide, then followed by acidification, we are going to get the formation of salicylaldehyde. What is this salicylaldehyde? To the benzene ring, there is attachment of OH group as well as CH group. So of course we can consider here that CHO group is particularly present at ortho position. So it is salicylaldehyde. So now this salicylaldehyde is obtained by starting with the phenol as the starting reagent. Now once you consider this reaction, it is not including only one step reaction. There are several steps included for this particular reaction. And here I have given two set of reactions. Both are representing same Reamer-Tiemann's reaction. So now let us go for all the steps which are involved in this reaction during the conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde. Very first, if you start with what I said before, when phenol is heated with chloroform in the presence of aqueous sodium hydroxide, then actually that phenol, when it is heated with the mixture of chloroform and sodium hydroxide, this phenol first it will interact with NaOH, sodium hydroxide. How it is going to interact here? As you can see, OH group, when it is interacting with NaOH, now there is possibility for the removal of OH and H in the form of water. So that is how we are going to get the removal of water molecule, and whatever that left over here in case of NaOH, that is sodium, it will get attached to the oxygen of the aromatic ring. So that oxygen is bonded to aromatic ring. Now we are going to get the formation of which is that product here, that is sodium phenate. So in the very first step, phenol will interact with sodium hydroxide to get sodium phenate. In the very next step, so we can find here it is CHCl3 chloroform, and here you can find at ortho position. Remember, all the carbon atoms are identical and they are containing uniformly single hydrogen atoms here. There will be presence of alternate double bonds. And here you can find it here. One of the hydrogen atom attached to the carbon atom at ortho position to this ONA group, it will react with Cl and it will be removed off in the form of HCl. So one CHCl3 group is interacting at ortho position, then hydrogen reacts with one of Cl to give HCl. So HCl will be removed off. Then this CHCl2 group will get attached at ortho position. Now can you remember? So that is when benzene is attached to CHCl2. That means CHCl2 group is substituted to benzene ring, means it will be considered as benzol chloride. But in addition to this benzol chloride, there is substitution of ONA. Hence, it is substitution product of benzol chloride. It is actually one of the intermediate compound. And now, it will not stop over here. Now, we can find there are two chlorine atoms attached to this carbon atom. Again, there will be presence of sodium hydroxide in the reaction mixture. Now, NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, will interact with these two chlorine atoms. Then we can say 2 NaOH will interact with 2 Cl. So here Na combines with Cl to give NaCl. Once this Na interact with the Cl, you are going to get the removal of 2 NaCl molecules. Now, once these Cl atoms are removed over here in the form of NaCl. Now, there is attachment of OH group. Cl atoms are replaced by OH group. That is why you will get that substitution of OH groups in the place of Cl. And this compound is also said to be unstable because there are presence of two neighboring hydroxyl groups here. They can interact with each other, so that here one OH group and another hydrogen atom, they will interact with each other and they result in the removal of water molecule. So once you consider there is removal of H and OH here, what is left over? That is oxygen will be left over. Hence you are going to get the resultant functional group, that is CHO. So here at ortho position you are going to get that formation of CHO group, conversion into CHO group. Then we need to remove this Na to convert into OH group. So what we require here? So once you get the sodium salicylaldehyde, what is this compound name? It is named as sodium salicylaldehyde. So once this sodium salicylaldehyde is obtained, then on further acidification, that is with the help of dilute HCl, then we can easily find it. So here Na can combine with Cl in the form of NaCl, then H will get attached to that oxygen and result in the formation of OH group. Now it is obvious that if to this benzene ring there is attachment of OH and CHO, then it is named as salicylaldehyde. So the conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde using chloroform and sodium hydroxide is popularly called as what? Reamer-Tiemann's reaction. So now there are several steps included here, what I have written on the board. In spite of writing all these steps, even you can write in this format also, as they have given in NCERT textbook. Now once you start with, that is phenol. What are the reagents we are using here? One is chloroform, other one is aqueous sodium hydroxide. You are going to get one of that intermediate product, that is benzol, substituted benzol chloride, that is intermediate compound. So this on further hydrolysis, that means there will be addition of OH group here in the presence of NaOH, and on further acidification you are going to get the formation of salicylaldehyde. You can write either in this format or you can write the Reamer-Tiemann's reaction in this format. Both are one and the same, but includes many steps, but those steps are get restricted. Here it is first, it is second and third. 3 steps are required here. So we have to remember, once they ask for Reamer-Tiemann's reaction, what is Reamer-Tiemann's reaction here? So that is when phenol is treated with, or phenol is heated with chloroform in the presence of aqueous sodium hydroxide, gives salicylaldehyde. Of course, you can consider we are going to get that substitution of that CHO group at ortho position but not at para position, because among ortho CHO group and para CHO, ortho salicylaldehyde and para salicylaldehyde, so your ortho product is highly stable because here it gives chance for the formation of hydrogen bond between hydrogen of OH group and O of CHO group, that is oxygen of CHO groups. So there is existence of intramolecular hydrogen bonding with respect to ortho position of this aldehyde group. Therefore, we can expect that is salicylaldehyde which contains CHO group at ortho position rather than in para position. Similar to Riemann-Siemens reaction, that is for the conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde. Now we are going to learn about one more conversion, that is conversion of phenol to salicylic acid. So salicylic acid means to the benzene ring there is attachment of OH and COOH group. If it is CHO, it is called as salicylaldehyde. If it is COOH, it is said to be salicylic acid. Now, what are the reagents required for this conversion? As you can see here, for the conversion of phenol to salicylic acid, we need importantly carbon tetrachloride and aqueous sodium hydroxide. When phenol is heated with carbon tetrachloride, that is carbon tetrachloride means that is 4 carbon, that is in case of carbon 4 hydrogen atoms are replaced by chlorine. So 1 tetrachloromethane. So that is carbon tetrachloride. And once you go for this reaction sequence, as you can start with, which is that first starting reagent, that is phenol. To the benzene ring there is attachment of OH group. Now, even though we are just heating the phenol with carbon tetrachloride in the presence of NaOH, first that phenol will interact with the sodium hydroxide. So it results in the formation of sodium phenate. So here H combines with OH and it will be removed off in the form of water, H2O. And here Na will get attached to the oxygen, that is hydrogen is replaced by sodium. So that we are getting that product sodium phenate. And immediately at ortho position, that hydrogen atom will interact with one of the chlorine, it removed off in the form of HCl. So H will interact with chlorine to give HCl, and whatever is remained after removal of one chlorine, that is CCl3, will get attached to this carbon atom. Now hydrogen atom is replaced at ortho position by CCl3 group. It is one of the intermediate compound. Now, this intermediate compound is said to be unstable, and here this sodium hydroxide again interact with these chlorine atoms. There are 3 chlorine atoms as you can find here. In the previous reaction, we got only 2 chlorine atoms because of CHCl, the chloroform. But here in case of carbon tetrachloride reagent, here we will get 3 chlorine atoms after substitution. Now, these 3 chlorine atoms will easily interact with this Na and result in the formation of NaCl. That means which molecules are removed off here? There will be removal of 3 molecules of NaCl here. And once you can guess, after the removal of these 3 chlorine atoms, what will get substituted in these places? Obviously, there are 3 hydroxyl groups will be substituted at these positions. Now, once you get that OH groups will be attached to the same carbon atom here. Now, there is possibility for the removal of water. It is unstable, and to gain stability, there will be removal of water, OH and H. It will be removed off, that is in the form of H2O. Then whatever is left over here, COH along with one oxygen atom, that is COOH. That is nothing but carboxyl group. Now it is directly attached to the benzene ring. Now we can just consider here there is ONA and here COOH. But we need that replacement of ONA with H, isn't it? Now, what happens here? In the very next step, it is also said to be unstable because still there is presence of sodium hydroxide. This sodium hydroxide again will interact with the COOH group. So, here H and OH will be removed off in the form of H2O, and to the COO group there will be attachment of Na to get COONA. And now this sodium salicylic acid is said to be unstable, and in this compound that Na should be replaced easily by the help of that is Na should be replaced by H, but it needs one more step. What is that step? Here carboxyl group is said to be unstable because of alkali medium. Hence this COH group is converting into COONA. But now we can easily make these two sodium atoms to be substituted by hydrogen atom so that we get a desired product ultimately. Which is the desired product? Salicylic acid. How it is possible? It is possible by acidification. Once this product is obtained, then this is subjected for acidification by using dilute HCl. And adding dilute HCl, so these particularly Na will be interacting with HCl, then there will be removal of NaCl, and in the place of Na and Na you are going to add up these hydrogen atoms. That means we are removing sodium atoms and we are replacing it by hydrogen atom, so that we are getting OH group and COOH groups are at ortho positions. This compound is named as salicylic acid. So the conversion of phenol to salicylic acid with the help of carbon tetrachloride and sodium hydroxide is also considered as Riemann-Siemens reaction. But as for examination is considered, with respect to Riemann-Siemens reaction, in your NCERT text they have mentioned that conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde. In case they generally as explain Riemann-Siemens reaction means you can explain the conversion of phenol to salicylaldehyde. Next reaction of phenol is, that is electrophilic substitution reaction, is Friedel-Crafts methylation. So it is alkylation where we are going to substitute methyl group, hence we can call it as Friedel-Crafts methylation. So what is that Friedel-Crafts methylation? So when phenol is treated with methyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride as the catalyst, it results in the formation of mixture of orthocresol and paracresol, where we are going to substitute, that is methyl group, one is at ortho position, other one is at para position. So of course we can find here the ortho position which contains hydrogen, it can interact with Cl and it will be removed off in the form of HCl, and that hydrogen is replaced by methyl group, so that we are getting orthocresol as well as paracresol as the two types of the products. So here 2 moles of phenol interact with this 2 moles of methyl chloride, resulting in the formation of mixture of orthocresols and paracresols. That is nothing but Friedel-Crafts methylation of phenol. And next reaction is, that is reaction of phenol with zinc dust. They have asked the question regarding this reaction. How do you convert phenol to benzene? It's very simple. When phenol is distilled with zinc dust, that is distilled means on heating, phenol on heating with zinc dust, we are going to get the formation of benzene. Here we can find there will be removal of oxygen along with the zinc in the form of zinc oxide, and here that hydrogen will be taking place of this aromatic ring. Hence it will complete that aromatic ring by considering C6H6. So that is nothing but we are going to get the formation of benzene. It's very simple reaction. As you can see here, OH group is interacting with zinc. Zinc will combine with oxygen, only oxygen in the form of zinc oxide. That hydrogen will be get attached to that carbon atom. So it will complete the formula of the benzene, that is C6H6. That is how we are going to convert phenol to benzene. It's very simple reaction. And one more reaction that is considered as oxidation of phenol to give benzoquinone. So here you can find two conjugated double bonds here, double bond O here. How we are going to get that? So that is very simple. When this phenol is treated with dichromate, so now let us consider sodium dichromate in acidic medium. So it results in the formation of chromic acid. So when phenol is treated with sodium dichromate in acid medium, it results in the formation of benzoquinone. It's a slow process and it results in the formation of dark colored compound, that is nothing but benzoquinone. Here you can find not only that oxygen is present over here, there will be removal of hydrogen atom, and here also there will be attachment of one more oxygen atom because of the presence of this oxidizing agent. So oxidation of phenol results in the formation of two double bonded oxygen atoms are attached to the benzene ring, which is particularly called as benzoquinone. That is regarding conversion of phenol to benzoquinone. All these are different types of reactions what we have learned up to here. That is, all these reactions are generally called as electrophilic substitution reactions of phenols.